What's going on, everyone? It's your boy James, and it is Grendel's Garage. Well, we have a lot to talk about to kind of catch up to be everything I've been doing on this build and where I'm at. Just kind of, first off, I want to show you I've been kind of playing around with cleaning up these different kind of casings and stuff like that. As I drop it. Basically what I did is I took my grinder and these paint removing wheels and put them on there and ground them down, basically. It seemed super shiny. They're a lot, obviously, shinier than what they were before. So that's the inside. And now they look like that. So they're pretty shiny. Also started taking the Dremel and trying to do a little bit of that carving stuff and all that jazz I've been seeing on Facebook. And it's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, honestly. So I kind of went with super basic letters and stuff like that and stuff. Didn't go super crazy, so I still got to finish that up anyways, but kind of having fun, different ideas. This has been filler stuff while I've been waiting for parts to come in. Long story short, we're gonna go ahead and do the new build with the threadless 1-inch kit that I already did on the Banshee Queen, so we're gonna move forward in that direction. I was thinking about using some of my old stuff, maybe like a Springer fork that was threaded, or even the other ones that were on the other bike that died, but I decided not to. I'm just gonna go with this. So this is the top part right here. I just got a little bit of grease on the cups itself. So when I go ahead and use the tool to press it and everything like that, everything is good to go. But just kind of want to show you guys a little bit more what it looks like. So that bearing goes into this guy. I just took it out. This is kind of a tight fit and it has some grease on there, so I don't want to get too much of it rubbed out, but that guy sits in there. This is the bottom part. Pretty easy. And this is the whole top setup. That bearing goes in there. And then you have a couple different pieces that you need to make sure in the right order. So I have them stacked up. That will go over the forks there. Then you have this piece to kind of have like a little spacer. Then you have the top part. Still waiting on some other parts, so I'm just going to go ahead and put the cups in, nothing crazy. Also got this chain that comes with our master link. This will be super nice, definitely need it. It's a longer chain, so that way I can have a little bit better adjustment than what typically comes on your cruiser bicycle. So got the chain brake on the side. I don't know, there's a method to my madness, I promise. So just it's right there, so I don't forget it. Ready to go for when I actually have to measure everything up for braking and all that other jazz. The Wildcat 80 is on the side over here. We still need to drop the cylinder down a little bit so we can get better compression. I think I want to do that. If you guys remember, a while ago I did some porting in there. Probably won't be able to see anything, but did some porting in there, nice and shiny. I got crap everywhere. Roughened up on the intake. Went with Dave's little mushroom top kind of exhaust with my little take on it and what I can do. The first time I've really done some serious cutting for realsies. But anyways, I want to drop the cylinder down a little bit, so I have to get a piece of glass or something so I can sand that down. So this will be the engine that will be going on the new build, just because I did the porting, I did all the work. It's finally time to see what happens, if anything. We're gonna go with this head right here. I don't even know, I think this is a CDH head. It's just bigger, a little bit more, better compression, stuff like that. It has a decent combustion chamber, nothing crazy, but a little bit better. But I think our squish gap was 1.5 maybe, so we definitely got to drop the cylinder down a little bit. So that's kind of where we're at with that. I just got parts and pieces and stuff everywhere. There's a method to my madness, thinking about different ways to mount stuff up. But anyways, kind of want to show you my new setup, what I'm going to start doing. I just always like how Kevin had his bikes up in the air, because this build's been such a pain just going from the complete bottom all the way down. So I got it nice and hung up. This is where we're at so far. You guys know that I did the welds and the gussets and all that stuff. Not beautiful, but I think it is going to be pretty sturdy. Pretty excited for this. Just put this in the other day. There's a 100 YouTube videos on how to put these cranks in. They're super simple, actually. They're not too bad. These are actually the ones from Typhon. Everything was a lot cleaner. The ones I took out of here were just absolutely... I ended up cleaning them, and they're okay. I'm still getting crud out of them. But the ones that came off of Typhon were a lot cleaner. So I cleaned them up, put a ton of grease in there, so we should be good to go. I have it a little bit tighter than I probably should right now, but it'll pedal. I might loosen it up a little bit later. I was just putting everything together to kind of see where I'm at. I think we're going to go with this seat. It's a little beat up, but I kind of like it. It has a little bit like more double compression compared to some of the other seats. I'm kind of rambling now. Oh, we're going to go ahead and go with these handlebars. They're the same as all my other handlebars, just chrome instead. So that'll be a super nice one. I love these things, man. They're spendy. They're spendy, but man, I think they are the best looking ones, and they're nice, beefy, sturdy, welded all the way around, all that stuff. We're also going to go ahead and go with the same forks that we have on the Banshee Queen. Sorry, I'm trying to get a better angle. So these are the Suntour XCM30. So I'm pretty sure that I bought the exact same ones, but instead of eBay, I went with the ones from Amazon, and they were $50 cheaper, I think, this time. So yeah, pretty excited about that. We did get a PM setup, so we're still going to run a disc in the front on the other build. Same one, but silver. We use these same calipers, whatever you want to call them. And we're just going to go with, I have like 100 of these other disc pads, or whatever you want to call them, disc brakes, disc pads. The rotor? Yeah, the rotor. So there we go. So I have like a bunch that I still have from all those other rims that I bought from BikeBerry. So we're just going to go with that. I'm not going to spend that much more money because it's all adding up super quick. Tell the truth, guys, I think I'm in like $300 just to get the front half nice and good to go. So that's one thing when you start upscaling and start going down the rabbit hole, guys. This hobby is super cheap, but sometimes you spend a little bit more money. But I think my thought process is if I can keep everything kind of like similar, because I know that works. It works super well. It's super sturdy, 50 miles an hour on it, like zero problems. It's been great. And several times, you know, I have way better compression as far as, I mean, stopping power in the front. Those Suntour are nice and sturdy and strong, and it's a well-known brand. The threadless has been a lot better overall. Personally, compared to the threaded, I'm just having a lot less issues, and it's just still holding up, zero issues. Again, I'm rambling with that. But if we kind of do the same formula and put it on this bike, I think we're going to have good success, especially now that this is probably going to be a stronger, sturdier frame. But anyways, guys, that's kind of where we're at. Still have a lot to do onto Kokura. I just got to put miles on her, and it's getting cold outside. As you guys can tell, I got the heater on. So I just got to put miles. I got to put miles. And besides that, it's been running great. Still got to tune the carburetor, but it's just time. So, alrighty, guys, good deal. Well, still lots of things to figure out. Still a lot of stuff to go. Just got to carve in the garage part, and besides that, that's probably what I'm going to be doing today, besides putting these cups in. Thank you guys for all the support. Super appreciate it. I'm not sure if there'll be more to this video or not, but anyways, enjoy. Alrighty, guys, we are back, and we're going to go ahead and go for the third time. I found a picture frame that I can go ahead and sacrifice to the cause, and we have a flat piece of glass finally. It's really thin, but it will do. It is glass, but yeah, so we're gonna go and go with some 60 grit through the whole process. 200, 400, 600. I need to go get some 1000 grit. That's the only thing I don't have, so we can get it nice and shiny, make it nice and flat. But anyways, we're gonna go up to the 600 grit, and we'll film until I run out of patience and or time and or everything. So here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward you guys, so hopefully this is an okay view. Alrighty, everyone, we are back. We went through the entire process again of sanding the top of the head. Excuse me, I'm a little sick, so might be sniffling and kind of stumbling over a little some stuff. But anyways, so we sanded everything again. We went with 60 grit to go off the bat and then worked our way down. I didn't get 1,000 grit to end it, but that's okay. We ended up with like 600, so it's still pretty shiny. Still looks pretty good. We actually use a piece of glass now to actually make sure that everything is good to go. And we're just gonna go ahead and get a measurement with our solder real quick. Make sure it gets through all. I don't think we have contact in that spot. One sec, guys. Should have got a longer piece of solder, so I shouldn't. There we go. Good squish there. So we definitely took off a lot more material this time. Let's see what we got. Roughly measuring from the back right there. We're looking at 1.09. Scoot it forward just slightly. 0.93. Okay. I think that's acceptable. I don't want to go through the entire process again. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little time consuming, but definitely feasible and stuff like that. I already measured the other side of the head. It's very close. It's off by just like 0.2 millimeters on this side, a little bit less compression. So I don't know if that's just because we're running one ring on this build or not, but anyways, guys, good enough to run. So we're gonna go ahead and get her slapped on the old new bike build. I'm excited. This will be fun. What's going on, everyone? We are back and we have built a motorized bicycle. Have not thought of a name yet for this build, but I think we're gonna go ahead and do some research, try to find something from some kind of era. I was thinking maybe like something from Japan as far as a monster goes, from the mythological Japan era, because we always have to build a new monster, so might go kind of that route. But I think it turned out pretty well. It's basically roadworthy. Everything has Loctite on there. It's good to go. I got the forks all set. We have the throttle set, we have our front brake, everything is set. I'll go ahead and break down everything a little bit right now before we hit the road, so that way you guys know what's going on. Basically, the fuel, to start off, the fuel tank would not fit on here. The bolts were not long enough. And I've always, just like ever since I got into the motorized bicycle game, I've always seen these from CDH Power, these fuel tanks, and I always thought they're a little goofy and kind of fun. But I just wanted to see how it would go. So got all hooked up, cleaned the crap out of it. It is an aluminum tank, just to let you know. So we'll see how it holds up long term. I did end up using the bolts and everything that came with it, except for the actual bolts that go onto there. I just used some Teflon, some really nice ones, so it'd be nice and sturdy and everything like that. And let's see. Besides the frame, the seat's the only thing that's really basically original on this whole build. To the most part. I mean, maybe like the stem that goes down. I don't even think that is. I think that's from Typhon. So basically a lot of the parts are from the frame that crack. Old Typhon, you know, as you guys know, passed away. So a lot of that kind of stuff is kind of repurposed into this, like the wheel, which does have a CDH Power clamp on a coaster brake. This frame does not allow you to have any kind of other setup. I was thinking about modifying something like that. I don't know, but that'd be something we have to look down the road. So we're just gonna have a coaster brake in the rear, which is something I need to be very wary, which I'll take it nice and easy, guys, don't worry. And we do know that this setup is at least good for 42 miles an hour and all that jazz. We did have to go with a chain tensioner on there, so Kind of interesting. I actually popped off, there's a bearing in there, and I popped off the seal and actually put a whole bunch of good grease in there. So that was kind of interesting. Maybe I'll start doing that. Obviously, getting away from this is the perfect thing for the chain setup, but anyways, we do have a very nice heavy duty chain on there. Clearance is super good though, so the tire's not even close to rubbing. We're actually clearing the bolts on this completely. That was kind of why I did run with the chain tensioner, to also get where our pedal chain was going to be perfect too. It was going to be a little bit of give and take, so that's kind of where I ended up going with it. So this is nice and tight on there, Loctite on everything, and got some good grease in there, so maybe that'll help that out. But ideally, get away from that if you can. So as you guys know, took the frame, did all the welding and all that jazz. Obviously not great, but still learning. But I think we had a couple good welds here and there. Got the welds here, got the welds there, and the one weld right there. So hopefully that shears up the frame. It is a steel frame, which is super awesome. Okay, backing up, getting back to everything. We got the Wildcat 80 that I did port, and the exhaust, we kind of went with the Dave Mushroom and all that stuff like that. If you guys want to see what we all did, I do have like a playlist for the porting series on there. We are running the Nasty Jack, whoop whoop, the Nasty Jack, always making an appearance, coming back. And with the CDH power head, also too, we did sand down the top of the head, and we're looking at about 0.1 or 0.95 millimeters of compression, so we're right in that sweet zone. We're good to go. Took these casings, kind of polished them off. It's going to be kind of hard to tell, but you can kind of tell the difference at least a little bit with the gray there. Just kind of a quick thing, just kind of playing around with that kind of stuff. I was able to use a CDH power front mount. This was a brand new one. So this tube is actually smaller. This is a 1.5 clamp right here, which is the smallest you can buy. But what I did was I took this back part right here, it comes off right there, and I just took a file, put it in a vise, and I just took a file and I just went to town on it until it was completely able to clamp down super tight. So this is Loctited and everything good to go. I always like to put like an extra little bolt on the other side to kind of help it from wobbling. These clamps are not tapered or whatever you want to say, have taps on this side, so I always put a bolt on there to keep it super tight. Got the big bolts in there to keep it on there. Everything's super tight, so we're good to go. We're good to go. Super on the motor, nothing's moving like that. We're gonna go ahead and run an NT carburetor with the 68 jet in there. I don't know what the needle's set to. We'll go ahead and just kind of play with that. I just kind of want to see, I believe that's what we ran with it the first time. Not with this pipe either. I think we also had a different pipe on there. I don't know. We should, I think the fastest this motor's been is about 43 miles an hour, I want to say. Anyways, give and take. We do have a different spark plug as well. We have the NKG, those kind of spark plugs. I think I had a 6 in it before. We now have an 8. We still have the original stuff that came with the Wildcat. Everything is all buttoned up, ready to go, hooked up. Oh, what else, guys? You know, I don't know. We'll go ahead and go to the forks and stuff like that, I guess. You guys know me. I really like the BMX style handlebar setup. Kind of wanted to go with the silver. Looks really nice. Got the silver handlebar holder. We went with the, is it Origin? I think it was, what'd you say, 8 or something like that. Same thing that I have on the Banshee Queen. I went ahead and did all this stuff off screen. I think I told you guys I was going to do that. Compressed the cups in. Everything went super smooth. Actually, I did way faster this time. Ended up not cutting the tube, which also sped up the process quite a bit. I did have to order new spacers, and I did have an extra one, a 1 1/8 one to go over the adapter that I do have to buy, which I do have a video on how to do that completely from the Banshee Queen over there. And all that jazz. So that went together super smoothly. We are still running the same forks as the Banshee Queen as well, just because I really like them. They're super stout, super strong. They're the Suntour XCM30. Really impressed with them, guys. I'm very happy with it. Plus, we get to go ahead and run some good disc brakes. So I am running 203 rotor. I did have to buy this little adapter, so we're good to go there. And I have a whole bunch of these clamps or whatever we want to call them. I'm starting to blank on them. I'm starting to get all the parts mixed up in my head. I've been talking so much. Calipers, I guess you could say, on the rotor. So the 203 rotor, and then we have a bunch of these calipers for everything like that. But you do have to have the adapter to run the bigger rotor, just a heads up. So, and we are running the Maxim hookworms in the front. So big old fatty in the front, and we're kind of a little bit skinny in the back, but that's okay. I do think we are going to have good gas flow. I think at that point, guys, we just got to go ahead and hit the road. What else? Kind of the custom-made thing for the pipe itself. I did a bunch of this stuff a long time ago in some of my older videos. Just kind of really shores up that pipe onto the frame. As you guys saw last time, I did kind of try to do like grinding and stuff like that, but then this big old thing, I totally forgot about it, covered it up, but that's actually a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. And it doesn't look as good as I thought it was going to be. Anyways, as you guys, I'm running this chain, just like a cheap pedal chain. I just broke it, honestly, yesterday on Typhon, or not Typhon, excuse me, to Kokura. So I need to buy some better pedal chains because this is not going to last long because it's already pretty tight just the way it's set up. So I don't know, guys. I think I'm just going to keep rambling on. I think that's about it. Let's go ahead and hit the road and have some fun and enjoy it. Got to think of a name.